Welcome to Netherlands. The Netherlands, in northwestern Europe, is a land of vibrant flower fields, charming canal cities, and legendary windmills. Amsterdam, the nation's capital, enchants visitors with its UNESCO-listed canals, rows of gabled houses, and an atmosphere rich with art, from world-class museums to cozy cafes along the water. The Dutch landscape is flat yet captivating. Endless green plains, vast tulip fields, historic towns by the canals, and a long North Sea coastline shaped by centuries of human ingenuity. For generations, the Dutch have battled and embraced the sea, building dikes, canals, and even creating new land from the ocean itself. How well do you know the Netherlands? Here's a question for you. Which famous Dutch village is known as the Venice of the North, where canals replace streets and boats glide quietly through the town? Share your answer below. And here's something fascinating about the Netherlands. Every spring, the country transforms into a sea of color as millions of tulips bloom. Keukenhof Gardens, often called the Garden of Europe, showcases hundreds of tulip varieties, attracting visitors from all over the world. Alongside its flowers, the Netherlands is also famous for its windmills, timeless symbols of Dutch creativity and resilience in the face of nature. Whether sailing through Amsterdam's canals, cycling across flower fields, or standing before a historic windmill, you can feel the spirit of the Netherlands, simple, peaceful, yet bursting with life and innovation. Let's explore the Netherlands, the land of tulips, windmills, and endless waterways. Netherlands. There's a quiet rhythm to Amsterdam, a soft lapping of canals, the low whir of bicycles, the echo of footsteps across cobbled bridges. It's a city that doesn't shout, but murmurs its stories through architecture, movement, and art. From the moment you step into Amsterdam's canal belt, you're in a living museum. The 17th century townhouses, with their tall, narrow frames and gabled roofs, seem to lean forward in polite conversation. Beneath them, boats glide through water streets with the ease of locals on bicycles. Art breathes through the city. At the Rijksmuseum, Rembrandt's Night Watch commands a room. At the Van Gogh Museum, color dances with madness. Even a simple stroll through Jordan can feel like wandering through a canvas, where every street corner, window, and shopfront offers a carefully framed scene. Yet Amsterdam isn't all elegance and history. Its liberal spirit pulses in its cafes, its vibrant LGBTQ+ scene, and its unashamed red light district. This is a city that respects freedom, not as spectacle, but as everyday truth. People live and let live, and there's beauty in that simplicity. Food, too, tells Amsterdam's story. From warm stroopwafels sold streetside to Indonesian rice tafel feasts, every dish carries a tale of trade, influence, and adaptation. Local markets like Albert Kuipmarkt showcase the city's multicultural layers. Amsterdam is neither flashy nor fast, but give it your time, and it gives you its soul. One canal at a time, one sunset ride along the Amstel, one quiet, unforgettable moment. The Hague isn't flashy, yet it holds the heart of the Netherlands' power. Known locally as Den Haag, this city is where decisions are made, where diplomacy unfolds, and where justice takes the global stage. But look closer, and you'll see its soul stretches beyond suits and politics. At the center of its authority is the Binnenhof, a Gothic complex reflected in the waters of the Hofvijver Lake. Here, the Dutch Parliament operates inside historic halls, while tourists stroll the same courtyards where royalty, rebels, and rulers once walked. The Hague is also home to international law, housing the International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court in stately buildings like the Peace Palace, a place that whispers of humanity's greatest ideals, even as it grapples with its failures. But it's not all formality. The city surprises with its art, especially at the Mauritshuis Museum, where Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring quietly captivates. Around the corner, the streets of Noordeinde and Denneweg overflow with boutiques, art galleries, and cozy cafes. The beach district of Scheveningen offers an unexpected contrast: wide sands, seafood restaurants, and a laid-back promenade. On a summer day, it's easy to forget you're in the political center of a country. In The Hague, authority and artistry live side by side. It's a city of influence, but also of beauty and balance, where the world comes to talk peace and visitors come to find quiet inspiration. Few cities carry their rebirth as boldly as Rotterdam. Bombed into near silence during World War II, it refused to rebuild what was lost. Instead, it chose a daring path: reinvention. Today, Rotterdam stands as the Netherlands' most modern, experimental, and architecturally bold city. The skyline here isn't quaint, it's dynamic. From the soaring Erasmus Bridge, nicknamed the Swan, to the angular Markthal with its rainbow-colored ceiling mural, Rotterdam feels more like a futuristic design exhibit than a European port. The cube houses, tilted 45 degrees, defy gravity and tradition alike. Rotterdam's innovation pulses beyond buildings. The city's port, the largest in Europe, hums with energy, trade, and global ambition. A harbour tour reveals not only massive cargo ships, but also the lifeblood of a city always in motion, open to change, shaped by the sea. Yet for all its steel and glass, Rotterdam is human at heart. The Witte de Witstraat buzzes with galleries, cafes, and local conversation. On warm evenings, people gather at rooftop bars or picnic in Het Park, watching cargo ships drift by as if time itself has slowed down. Culturally, the city is fearless. Museums like Boijmans van Beuningen, under renovation but still influential, and Depot show Rotterdam's flair for challenging norms. Festivals like International Film Festival Rotterdam, IFFR, or North Sea Jazz remind visitors that this is a city with soul. Rotterdam is not Amsterdam's quieter cousin. It's a bold sibling with sharp edges, a steel spine, and a heart that beats for progress. It doesn't echo the past, it invents the future. In the heart of the Netherlands, Utrecht moves to a rhythm that's deeper, both figuratively and literally. While most Dutch cities flirt with their canals, Utrecht embraces them at eye level, with cellars, cafes, and culture tucked beneath the streets. At first glance, the city's skyline is defined by the Dom Tower, a Gothic sentinel rising over medieval lanes. Climbing its 465 steps, you're rewarded with a sweeping view of terracotta rooftops and the winding Oudegracht Canal, which cuts through the city like a living spine. But Utrecht's true character lies below. The canal wharves, built centuries ago to load goods from boats directly into storage cellars, now house wine bars, bookstores, and cozy restaurants. Dining here is an experience of intimacy, stone walls, candlelight, and the sound of lapping water just a meter away. The city pulses with academic life. As home to Utrecht University, one of the oldest in the country, it hums with youthful energy and intellectual vigor. Bicycles swarm the squares, and cafes fill with students debating philosophy or coding over flat whites. Yet Utrecht also nurtures the soul. The Centraal Museum offers an eclectic mix of art and history, while the Rietveld Schröder House, a UNESCO site, surprises with its de Stijl architecture and movable walls. Even the museum Spielklok, filled with self-playing musical instruments, feels like a whimsical time machine. Utrecht doesn't try to impress. It draws you in gently, with layers of history underfoot and creativity around every corner. It rewards those who linger and look a little deeper. Spring doesn't just arrive in the Netherlands, it erupts. And nowhere does it bloom with such extravagance as in Keukenhof Gardens, the world-renowned floral wonderland nestled near Lisse. For 8 precious weeks a year, the garden transforms into a living masterpiece of scent, shape, and color. Spanning over 32 hectares, Keukenhof is home to more than 7 million bulbs, including tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, and crocuses. But these aren't planted at random. Every garden bed is a deliberate design, crafted like a painter composes a canvas. Bold yellows against deep purples, whites drifting like clouds across crimson waves. Thematic gardens add another layer of surprise. One moment you're in a serene Japanese-style garden, the next among whimsical flower sculptures shaped like windmills or animals. The Oranje Nassau Pavilion bursts with floral arrangements and vertical gardens, while the Willem-Alexander Pavilion showcases endless rows of rare tulips in full regalia. While flowers are the star, the experience is multisensory. The air carries the sweetness of hyacinths, birds chirp above, and butterflies flit lazily between petals. Along shady paths and bridges, couples wander, children giggle, and photographers crouch for the perfect shot that never quite does justice. Keukenhof isn't just a celebration of flowers, it's a celebration of time. Every bloom is fleeting, every angle different with the day's light. It reminds visitors to pause, admire, and be present, even for just one spring morning. If the Netherlands had a heart in bloom, Keukenhof would be it, beating with color, pulsing with fragrance, and blooming only for those who know when to come. Some places feel like they've stepped out of a storybook. Zaanse Schans is one of them. Nestled along the Zaanse River just north of Amsterdam, this open-air museum village whirls you back in time with creaking windmills, green wooden houses, and cobbled paths. Zaanse Schans is more than a postcard. It's a living, breathing piece of Dutch heritage. Once a hub of industry in the 18th and 19th centuries, it preserves windmills that were used to grind spices, saw wood, and press oils. Today, several still operate, their giant blades turning slowly against the sky. Walking through the village, you're greeted by the scent of freshly baked stroopwafels and the earthy aroma of wooden clogs being carved in real time. At the clog workshop, artisans demonstrate their craft, turning raw wood into footwear with impressive speed and tradition intact. Cheese lovers find heaven here. Inside traditional farmhouses, samples of Gouda and Edam are generously offered, many infused with herbs or spices. Knowledgeable staff share how the cheese is aged and perfected. Giving you a taste of rural Dutch life with each bite. Photographers flock to the riverbanks for that perfect windmill shot, especially at sunrise when the sky glows gold and the Zaanse waters reflect history in perfect symmetry. But it's not just about views. Zaanse Schans offers stories, skills, and souvenirs rooted in authenticity. Though it draws crowds, the charm of Zaanse Schans remains intact. It's a village that doesn't just show the past, it lets you walk through it, touch it, and carry a piece of it home. In Giethoorn, cars are an afterthought. Here, boats are the norm. Silence is sacred, and the sound of water lapping against a hull replaces the rumble of engines. Known as the Venice of the North, this village is where tranquility sails slowly past thatched roofs and flower gardens. Founded in the 13th century by peat farmers, Giethoorn grew atop canals carved from soft earth. Today, over 90 kilometers of waterways flow through and around the village, with wooden footbridges linking houses that seem plucked from fairy tales. Tourists glide gently in punters, traditional flat-bottomed boats moved with a silent push-pole. Along the way, ducks swim beside you, weeping willows sway overhead, and every turn reveals more floral bursts and cottage charm. Despite its fame, Giethoorn avoids feeling touristy. The Giethoorn Museum and Olde Maat Oes Farm Museum explain how the town emerged from swampland, while cozy cafes along the canals offer Dutch pancakes and local cheese with unbeatable views. Evenings here are magic. As day trippers leave, a calm hush falls over the water. Lights reflect from windows onto rippling canals, and locals wave from their porches. It's a time when Giethoorn's peace becomes most real. Giethoorn doesn't need traffic lights or concrete. It flows, quietly, beautifully, offering a slower rhythm that so many crave but rarely find. You don't visit Eindhoven for canals or windmills. You come for electricity, both literal and creative. This is a city where light and design converge, where the future is not imagined, but built in real time, pixel by pixel, prototype by prototype. The roots of Eindhoven's identity lie in technology. Once a quiet industrial town, it became the birthplace of Philips in the late 19th century. That single company transformed the city into a powerhouse of innovation, bringing light to homes and setting the foundation for what Eindhoven would become. Today, Philips is still present, but the city's energy has expanded far beyond. At Stripe S, a former industrial complex now turned creative hub, warehouses have become art studios, tech labs, and urban farms. Murals sprawl across concrete walls, and electric bikes zip between cafes and concept stores. Design flows in Eindhoven's veins. Every year, the Dutch Design Week turns the city into a living gallery, showcasing daring projects that range from furniture to future cities. Students from Design Academy Eindhoven experiment openly, their ideas often reshaping industries years down the line. Yet Eindhoven isn't all digital circuits. Genneper Parks offer quiet green relief, and the Van Abbe Museum provides introspective moments through contemporary art. Even nightlife here leans creative, with venues like the FNR blend in live music with immersive visuals. Eindhoven doesn't court charm, it commands curiosity. It's a city of sparks, wires, and wild ideas. For those who seek invention over nostalgia, it offers a window into what cities and societies might soon become. Step into Groningen and you'll feel it immediately, a pulse. It's not the largest city nor the oldest, but it carries a confidence rare for a place tucked in the northern Netherlands, with one foot in innovation and the other firmly in heritage. Groningen moves with youthful defiance. At the center stands the Martinikerk, towering above the Grote Markt like a sentinel of centuries. Climb its winding steps, and the city stretches below. Red rooftops, green parks, and the sparkle of intersecting canals. Down at street level, cafes buzz with students and artists exchanging ideas between sips of coffee. Home to Rijksuniversiteit Groningen, one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the country, the city thrives on intellect and youth. Bicycles dominate the roads, and nearly everything is accessible with a pedal and a smile. Modernity shines through the bold Groningen Museum, with its colorful, futuristic architecture rising beside the central train station. Inside, you'll find rotating exhibits that push boundaries, whether contemporary art, fashion, or social commentary. Despite its dynamism, Groningen treasures stillness too. Noorderplaanszoon Park offers gentle walks and summer picnics, while small courtyards and narrow alleys reveal hidden bookstores and quiet corners steeped in charm. Groningen is a place for thinkers, makers, and those who love a city with a heartbeat. It isn't trying to be Amsterdam, it's just being itself, and that, in its quiet rebellion, is its greatest strength. When you picture the Netherlands, chances are you're imagining Kinderdijk, that row of 18 stoic windmills rising above still waters, their sails turning slowly as they have for centuries. But Kinderdijk is more than a postcard. It's a lesson in survival. Located in the Dutch polder landscape near Rotterdam, this UNESCO World Heritage Site tells a story of the eternal Dutch struggle, holding back the sea. Built in the 18th century, the windmills worked in tandem to drain excess water from the land into nearby rivers, allowing people to live and farm below sea level. Visitors today can walk or bike along the dikes and canals, feeling the wind in their hair as they pass by perfectly aligned windmills. A few are open for tours, letting you step inside the timbered interiors where millers once lived and worked in rhythm with the elements. Interactive exhibits at the Wisboom pumping station explain how this ingenious water management system evolved, first with wind, then steam, and now with modern technology. It's a rare place where engineering feels poetic. Kinderdijk also offers quiet beauty. Swans glide across the canals, reeds rustle in the breeze, and the light changes constantly across water and sky. Come at sunrise or sunset for the most breathtaking views. It's when Kinderdijk is at its most cinematic. To visit Kinderdijk is to witness harmony of man and nature, of heritage and innovation. It's Dutch ingenuity standing tall in a sea of sky. In Delft, time doesn't rush, it reflects. In the mirror of calm canals, between the quiet facades of centuries-old houses, you find a city painted in blue and white, both literally and in spirit. This is the birthplace of Delftware, the world-famous blue and white ceramics that once rivaled Chinese porcelain. Walking into a workshop like Royal Delft, you see artisans still hand-painting floral motifs and windmills onto plates, vases, and tiles. Tradition carefully preserved, brushstroke by brushstroke. Delft's charm deepens with its history. It was here that Johannes Vermeer lived and worked, capturing light as if it was something you could touch. His legacy lingers in the Vermeer Centrum, a quiet homage to a painter who turned domestic stillness into timeless beauty. The city's center, ringed by canals, is compact yet rich. At one end stands the towering Nieuwe Kerk, where members of the Dutch royal family lie buried. At the other, the Oude Kerk leans slightly with age, watching over cobbled streets where students, tourists, and locals mingle with ease. Delft is also a university town. The presence of TU Delft, one of Europe's leading technical universities, keeps the city youthful and innovative. High-tech ideas hum beneath the surface of this historic town, quietly shaping the future amid a backdrop of the past. In Delft, heritage and progress aren't at odds. They coexist gracefully. Whether you come for art, ceramics, or atmosphere, the city rewards you with stillness, subtlety, and a lasting imprint in blue. You know a city takes cheese seriously when it has an entire market that feels more like theater than trade. Welcome to Alkmaar, the Dutch town where age-old traditions are still carried with pride, and often on the shoulders of white-clad cheese porters. At the heart of the city lies Waagplein, home to Alkmaar's famous cheese market, held weekly between April and September. Here, massive wheels of cheese are laid out in neat grids, while porters in straw hats race back and forth, balancing wooden carriers like athletes. It's colorful, lively, and entirely unique. But Alkmaar is more than cheese. It's full of quiet charm. The historic center is threaded with canals and 16th century buildings. Narrow alleys lead to hidden courtyards, quaint bookshops, and sunlit terraces where locals sip koffie verkeerd and watch boats drift by. The Stedelijk Museum Alkmaar offers a dive into the city's rich history, from the Spanish siege of 1573 to local art and culture. A short walk away stands the Grote Kerk, its lofty Gothic interior often hosting art exhibitions and concerts beneath soaring stained glass windows. Alkmaar also surprises with its greenery. The Alkmaarderhout Park invites long walks and lazy picnics, while bike paths stretch into the surrounding countryside, leading to tulip fields and windmills that paint the landscape with quintessential Dutch strokes. Visiting Alkmaar is like opening a history book laced with flavor. It doesn't shout, it invites. And whether you come for the cheese or stay for the atmosphere, it leaves a rich taste long after the visit is done. Some cities surprise you not with noise, but with depth. Dordrecht, the oldest city in Holland, whispers its history through the ripples of rivers and the creak of ancient warehouses. Located where 5 rivers meet, Dordrecht is wrapped in water, trade, and tales. The heart of Dordrecht is its medieval harbour district, where time-worn brick buildings lean slightly toward narrow canals. Wolwevershaven and Nieuwe Haven once saw bustling merchant ships. Today, they are lined with boats, art galleries, and cafes that blend the past with present charm. Above it all rises the Grote Kerk, whose imposing tower offers sweeping views over the waterbound city. Inside, its massive organ and stained glass windows echo centuries of prayer and revolution. This is the birthplace of Dutch Protestantism, after all. Dordrecht's streets wind like a maze, revealing hidden courtyards, antique shops, and quirky museums like the Dordrecht's Museum, rich with 16th to 19th century Dutch art. Even the House of Gein, once a wealthy home, now feels frozen in time, down to its kitchen utensils. Nature lovers drift toward Biesbosch National Park, just beyond the city, a rare freshwater tidal wetland. Kayaking among its willow forests and silent waters is like slipping into a forgotten world where beavers and herons rule. Dordrecht doesn't beg for attention. It offers a steady, layered experience. History wrapped in river mist, waiting for those who prefer quiet depth over fleeting flash. There's something about Leiden that lingers. Maybe it's the canals that weave like veins through its heart, or the brick facades that speak of centuries past. Or perhaps it's the minds that pass through here, thinkers, scientists, and artists who shaped the world beyond its borders. Founded in Roman times but flowering in the Golden Age, Leiden feels like a compact museum of Dutch heritage. Walk along the Rappenburg Canal, once considered the most elegant street in the Netherlands, and you pass historic mansions, bookshops, and university buildings buzzing with students. This is the home of Leiden University, the country's oldest, where figures like Rembrandt once studied and Einstein once lectured. The Rijksmuseum van Oudheden holds Egypt's mysteries, while the Museum of the History of Science brims with discoveries sparked in Leiden's own classrooms. Beyond intellect, the city seduces with simplicity. The Botanical Garden, one of the oldest in Europe, offers quiet walks among exotic plants and rare flowers. Small bridges cross lazy canals, while market stalls brim with tulips, cheese, and stroopwafels. Leiden is also deeply tied to exploration. It was from here that the pilgrims fled to the New World, and the Leiden American Pilgrim Museum tells their story with remarkable intimacy in a preserved 14th century house. In Leiden, every corner feels thoughtful, as if designed not just to be seen, but considered. It's a place where the past isn't just preserved, it's quietly alive in every step. Tucked away in the province of Zeeland, Middelburg unfolds like a weathered maritime journal, its pages worn by salt, time, and resilience. Once one of the Dutch East India Company's key ports, this city carries its seafaring soul in every stone and spire. Start in the heart of the Old Town, the Markt, where the Gothic town hall rises like a storybook palace. Its ornate facade and slender towers speak to the city's former glory, when ships from Middelburg sailed to Asia and Africa, bringing back spices, textiles, and silver. The past isn't just remembered here, it's visible. Wander down Lange Jan, the tall abbey tower that watches over the city. Climb its 207 steps for a panoramic view. Red roofs, harbour masts, and the flat, windswept fields of Zealand stretching to the sea. Middelburg is also intimate. Its cobbled streets lead to hidden gardens and quiet canals, where houseboats bob gently beside brick facades. Cafes spill onto the sidewalks, where locals sip tea as church bells toll softly in the distance. For history lovers, the Zoo's museum offers artifacts from Zealand's trading days, including tapestries, sailors' tools, and portraits that bring the 17th century back to life. Meanwhile, modern boutiques and galleries show that creativity here still flows strong. Middelburg doesn't shout. It whispers with the sound of rigging in the wind and the soft echo of footsteps on ancient streets. It's a place where history breathes quietly and the sea is always near.
you.